Alrighty, we are live on the Wayne Coito show. It is Wednesday night. If you're out there in Facebook land, please join us in the comments. Let's talk. Let's have a conversation as well, because I don't just hear myself talk the whole time. Although I have something really cool to talk about today, and it's talking about something a lot of you are really excited about. I know, and that is traveling, of course, in the fall. We are Hawaii sports fans. That's what we do here. Been to 6 Super Bowls, incredible experiences, and that's the word I want to talk about, because that is really that service that we're providing here at Hawaii Sports Fans. And I call it a service because I really think that we do it the best. And I've seen that look in people's eyes when they're like, "Wow, I can't believe I just saw that. I can't believe I just experienced that. I can't believe," and it's like, I believe, because I'm starting my 10th season of doing these tours, and I know that look already. I know what it's like to be able to see your team win the Super Bowl. I know what it's like to feel that, even, which is really cool. But I saw that look in other people's eyes before I got to experience it for myself. But being in that building, being at the stadium, and being a part of that crowd is unlike anything else. And that's all a part of that experience, that 360 degree, that all 5 sense experience that comes with, doing the things that we do, things that we love to do. And that's what this company is founded on: love and passion. And our first tour, February of 2012, the gates were open for Hawaii sports fans, and that was the first season. And in August, late August, about the same time that we're doing this tour coming up, this UCLA Hawaii tour that I'm about to talk about, which includes a suite and even home run seats. It's a suite in the home run seats. But I'm super excited because 9 years ago, we did something similar, our very first tour. And what I wanted to do with Hawaii sports fans, and my outlook, was to be able to find as many games as I could go to, really, at one time. And I know a lot of you are the same, right? You go to the mainland, especially from Hawaii, you want to see how many games you can get to. So I do that for sure at Hawaii sports fans, and we that's all infused and injected into the formula here. But it's also that experience around it. How can we enhance that experience, and how can I enhance that experience? And at Hawaii Sports Fans, I know that we've been able to do that now, our 10th year, and I'm super excited because we keep setting the bar higher. And that year, though, was so fun. Our very first tour, we started at Petco Park, the home of the San Diego Padres. And if some of you, love San Diego, the place, I'm sure you love, the gas lamp quarter. You love just all the Mexican food and delicious desserts you can get in that area, in Little Italy. See, I'm just talking about San Diego. That's all a part of that I can smell it too, right? At Blind Burro. That's a place that we ate at when we went on the San Diego tour, or one of our San Diego tours, which actually was Marcus Mariota playing against the Chargers in San Diego. We were there when UH played San Diego State as well. And we went and ate some hand-tossed or handmade tortillas in Old Town, San Diego. And that's all a part of it too. I love the food. I love, I'm extremely curious. I'm about everything. That's my life, right? That's Wayne Coito. If you want to ask who I am, I'm just an extremely curious person. So I just want to try everything and do everything. And, I'm not going to just try everything with you guys on my tour if, I don't know what kind of thing I'm getting into. Well, not all the time. Nah. But I want to have those experiences where we're like together, those novel experiences, those things that we can do that maybe we're only going to do once in our life, right? And that's the whole point of it. Maybe we only do these things once. Maybe you only go to the Super Bowl once in your life, and that is going to be worth it for sure. Even if you go one time, but that's the kind of thing I get to sell people on every time, and I shouldn't have to sell you, right? Everybody loves what I'm doing at Hawaii Sports, and that's not just because I'm doing it. It's because I pick stuff to do that I know people are going to love off the bat. Whether you want to make it work or not around your budget, first of all, right? A lot of people are going to be like, "Oh, I don't know, it's too expensive. I can't do this." And at Hawaii Sports Fans, we're getting the best places, we're getting the best areas, we're doing the best services, we're getting VIP entry. I mean, that's all a part of it, and it's not about the snooty, because that's not how I am. That's not how I grew up. Maybe I'm not sometimes. No, kidding. But that's not how I grew up. That's not like I was going to the stadiums and like being able to go in the clubs and eat at like these like really exclusive areas before the game, and then go sit in like the best seats. Like growing up as a kid, no, I was just trying to get into the stadium or the arena. I was trying to buy a scalp ticket or something just to get in and watch, and just hopefully I can crawl in and see the court. And as I've grown up a little bit, I've decided that I deserve to be in some of those nicer seats too. I deserve to have a good experience sometimes too, and I can make it work. And I have, and I've done it for so long, and I've had the help of a lot of you as well, because some of these areas that we get to experience, you can really only do with a group. And one of those types of experiences is a suite. And if you've never been in a suite before, and if you are a UH fan who at the University of Hawaii, obviously building an on-campus stadium and going to add suite boxes, so people are like, whoa, what are these? Because at Aloha Stadium, there were suite boxes put in after, but nothing organic to or natural, or nothing that was originally in the Aloha Stadium blueprint, because back then that really wasn't a thing. But as games have evolved, as sporting events have become more like social events, I mean, let's be honest. I got an email from my friend, or a message from my friend. She's like, when did NFL games become ridiculously expensive? And if you've not seen how they've become expensive, I mean, even to me, they've become expensive in a way, but at the same time, I continue to buy the tickets. I continue to go because I love the product that much. And the NFL has seen that as it's grown, that they can capitalize literally off of that. But also stadiums and teams have decided, like, well, let's make this a true social experience. Like when I used to go to watch Beethoven's Ninth at the Honolulu Symphony every winter, it was like people are doing it as just a social event in Hawaii, basically, right? And I was like, oh, well, I want to be there because I want to hear the opera play at Neil Blaisdell Concert Hall or something, which is, Neil Blaisdell. I mean, it's cool, but, in Hawaii, that was like a thing. But like social events of football games are definitely social events when you look at the price, because they're way more. I mean, I know that like people are like, oh my gosh, it's crazy to like Broadway, some of these places like $100, $200, $300. Like, that's going to barely get you into an NFL stadium at that level. I mean, that's just how it is. So the Jew social events are really the sporting events, and obviously they're very tiered and stratified in a way in the stadium and in different areas and in different levels, by the amount that people pay and the amount that people are willing to shovel out to be able to get a certain kind of experience, whether it's that view, right? That's a part of the experience, how close you are to the field. Some people don't want to be right on the field, right? Some people don't want to be way in the top. Some people don't want to be right in the middle. I mean, some people want to be in all those places, right? So I think for me, it's if you have a good sideline is important, yes, but also having, that club experience, maybe that suite experience, that's just on top of that sideline. You're getting, a very special kind of experience. And it is different, especially when you're not fighting crowds. I can't even, emphasize that more, especially when you are going to a club or a suite level, or where we have our seats at Hawaii Sports Fans for the Rams in SoFi Stadium, special club seats. I've been pushing those. We're going to have special packages put out there with parking at SoFi Stadium, the greatest stadium in the world. So you have to stay tuned to that. hisportsfans.com. Please sign up for our mailing list, because we have a lot of great stuff going on. And follow us on all social media at HI Sports Fans on Twitter and on Instagram. Facebook.com/Hawaii Sports Fans, YouTube.com/Hawaii Sports Fans as well. And I enjoy posting videos and stuff as well that you can find interesting, especially because Hawaii Sports Fans has grown into more than just this travel tour company. Obviously, I've been media credentialed under the Hawaii Sports Fans banner, which is pretty cool for me as well. And I've, helped to inspire and grow. I know not only fan bases, but just other organizations that have, seen what I'm doing. Because what I'm doing is really different. And I'm not just like, oh, it's amazing, you're different. But I know it's hard. I have to kind of explain to people all the time because even to me, it's like it's still evolving. But Hawaii sports fans at the core is like a fan. Think of it's exactly that, you know. I mean, being in Hawaii, that's just what I love, right? I love being from Hawaii, and I love sports. Those like two things I love in the most, and I love being a fan. So that's why how I got Hawaii sports fans. But really, at the core of it, and the mission of Hawaii sports fans is to generate the most fun experience and blast of your life, really. And I've seen it. I mean, we've gone to some crazy places: Australia, New Zealand, Ohio State to watch football games. We went to DC, New York. We've gone across the East Coast, through Florida, across the West Coast, every state, you know, so many states. And for the Midwest, the West, the mountain states. And every time it's been such a different but amazing experience. Oh, even Minnesota and Wisconsin. We went to both of those states. And it's amazing experience both times, just because of how mind-blowing it was to be, for instance, in a lot of snow during Super Bowl 54 in Minnesota when we stayed in Taylor's Falls, Wisconsin, at the border of Wisconsin and Minnesota, and we drove our car or saw cars driving on the ice, and it was so freaky, but everybody was doing it because that's how crazy frozen the ice was. And when you're from Hawaii, you're like, oh gosh, and it was ridiculously cold. It was -10 in the morning. We wake up. That was without the wind, like -10. Just -10. It was ridiculous, but so amazing at the same time. And that's that experience I want people to get as well. Getting that fresh maple out of a tree. We were doing it on that trip. Having an actual guy who makes maple syrup show us how he does it in our house, in our giant log cabin. It's just amazing. That's the kind of things that I want to do in my life, in my own life. You know, like the people who'd like to do the hair commercial. It's like, I'm not only the president, but I'm also a client. So I'm also a client of myself as well. And just all the content that's generated here too at Hawaii Sports Fans and via all of my channels. I mean, that's really just things that I want to hear as Wayne Coito. And I hope my friends want to hear as well. And I think it'll inspire other people to also want to, do the same things that we do. Or maybe they already do and they want to join our community. And that's at the center of it as well, that core as a community. And I am a total lone wolf, like a lot of you. I love to do things by myself. I love to travel by myself as well. I travel every summer by myself. And, before this year, last year, I still went to Kauai, actually. I went to Kauai because I couldn't leave the islands, but at least I could be home. But the year before, I was in Taiwan, Japan, Portugal. I was in Madeira, Portugal. I went to Aruba. I went to Dominican Republic. I went to Wimbledon, UK, Wales. Just going backwards, all the places, Thailand, and all these places I've gone by myself. And it's been such an amazing experience because I love to just be in a place where I can meet a lot of people and talk to new people and be like, hey, we're friends now. And they can get annoyed with me, like, okay, weird Hawaiian boy, why you want to talk to everybody? But that's just what it is, right? I just want to meet new people and experience just a little bit of what life is like in the place that I'm at. So wherever I go, I want to just experience that life and that local life. And that is also at the core of Hawaii Sports Fans. I love foreign languages. That's like my really fun thing that I love to do. I watch a lot of YouTube in foreign languages. I speak or study. I don't like to say I can get around in probably about 5 languages, but I enjoy at the core of the language learning is culture because there's nuance in every language, right? There's something that meaning. In Hawaiian we say kauna, right? We say kauna. That's or in a statement or in a song, it's that deeper meaning. And maybe the meaning's not super deep. I don't want to say in every language, but there's always some connotations or something cultural within it. And everywhere we go, everywhere I go, I try and find what makes that place special. What is different about that place, even within the U.S., even within the Midwest or within the South. If I'm not in the South, if I'm in Nolens or I'm in Houston or Dallas, Texas, and then like in San Antonio. Actually, we've never been to San Antonio, but we're gonna go, I guess, this year to near El Paso. I was gonna say I've been to El Paso before because that was my first UH game, and Hawaii played UTEP, Timmy Chang's first game he ever started, and we got blown out, but it was fun and I remember it. But even within the South, my original point, there's so much difference, right? People from the South are still different when they're from Georgia or they're from Tennessee or whether they're from Kentucky or something. So it's like finding that place. So I love to eat local wherever that means. If I'm in Wisconsin or Minnesota, and Minnesota also has like great Ethiopian food. There's a lot of Ethiopians there and Hmong. So you can, and I enjoy those type of things too, and finding like little ethnic pockets that have good food, because in Hawaii we have so much of that as well. And that's all a part of that experience, and that's why that experience on top of it all is what we want to do at Hawaii Sports Fans. So when we have our very next tour that is coming up is just a few actually weeks away, we can count them, because that's going to mark Hawaii football's first game. Is going to be at UCLA at the Rose Bowl. Of all the places, right, of all the amazing venues in the whole world, Hawaii football gets to start at the Rose Bowl. And, you know, the opening game has always been something special to me, especially because I have never missed an opening game. I rarely miss an opening game, especially if it's been at home, since I haven't missed a home game at Aloha Stadium in 13, 14 years that I've been able to go to. And on the road, I haven't missed a game period in 5 or 6 years. So it's always that first game, that jitters of wanting to get out and wanting to know what a team's going to look like. And, you know, whether we've opened in Sydney, Australia, or whether we were in, you know, Amherst, Massachusetts, Worcester, Mass, whether we were there. I mean, those are such crazy places to start your season when you are from an island in the middle of the Pacific. But that's where this team takes us, and that's what's so fun too. And that's why I love to travel. I love to go everywhere. You know, I've been to the Dominican Republic. I mean, and a lot of that was because I love baseball a lot, right? And I love like Albert Pujols, who was one of my favorite players. He still was one of my favorite players, but he's not on the Angels anymore, which makes me very sad. But I was like Albert, and I went to Santo Domingo, where he's from, and I also went into some interesting parts of the town that I would not recommend too many people going to, and I probably won't ever return to. But it was an experience nonetheless, and I got to say that I was in his part of the neighborhood. But that's a part of the experience. That's cultural learning, and I think sometimes we can take it too far, maybe, as people like, oh, you really want to go? Like, I mean, I almost went to Haiti too. I don't know if it was probably the best idea, but that's how curious I am. I was like, how do I get into that country? It'd be so cool, but also I don't know the shaman right across the border. I should, you know, but that's also life, and what's the reality. And, you know, and in the US especially, we can get very complacent of how easy life can be. I mean, and life is not that easy still. I'm not saying that at all. There's a lot of hardship that shouldn't be happening as well. And I understand that going to sports and going to expensive games, that might seem like, oh, that's such an extra or crazy, you know, like, you know, crazy expense for some people. But I think it's also a part of the experience of being human and living, is to do those things that you really want to do. Ultimately, that's my goal in my life, is to live that way, live in a way where I can be as, you know, making the most out of every moment, making the most of every single moment. This photo that I have on the screen next to me, if you're watching us, the visual version of this show, because you can also listen to this show on podcasts at the Hawaii Sports Fans channel, and that could be on Spotify. It's also on Apple Podcasts, on Pandora, on iHeart, just like they say on the radio, like iHeart Radio. Yes, and you can get the Hawaii Sports Fans channel on iHeart Radio, which you should do, because you can listen to this as well. So I don't want to make this show too visual heavy, because I know a lot of people prefer to just listen in the background, which I think is a good idea. But I do have a photo up here, and it says it's a picture of the Seattle Mariners in their stadium, T-Mobile Park. It's the picture of their Jumbotron, and you see some bleachers around it and some other ads. I didn't want to give those ads too much space, because, you know, they're going to be like actual ads on my show, which you could also have an ad on this show if you reach out. Corporate sponsorships available now. info@hisportsfans.com. And you can be a sponsor of the show. You can be sitting in the best seats in SoFi Stadium in Section Club 106, right on the visiting team tunnel. But this picture is from the Seattle Mariners, and they were saying, well, actually, they retweeted our Instagram, or they showed our Instagram of our picture of our group in front of the stadium together, and that was such a fun night. Look at all of us there. I think about 18, 20 of us were there that night together, and it was cool. And we were in Suite 20, so we had representing Hawaii in Suite 20, and it was #GoMariners. That's the only way they could put it up there. And also Go Mariners for the people that love Mariners. And we also put hashtag Go Bows because we were there for the Hawaii versus UW game. And you're going to have that same chance actually in August to be able to see Hawaii football and a Major League Baseball game. Actually, two. If you take our VIP tour, you'll see two from two premium, as one of my friends likes to say, areas. But that's the experience. But we're going to bring on somebody very special because, you know, we've been talking about how Hawaii is football is creating their on-campus stadium, and we hope that in making this on-campus stadium, we'll also have the chance to maybe perhaps bring a new name to that stadium.
You'll bring me in.
And we're gonna have Reagan Maui'a, the Juggernaut. He's gonna come back on, and I think we have him back with us already. So let's see if Reagan is out there. How's it, Reagan? Aloha, are you out there? The Juggernaut.
What's up, Uso?
How's it going? There he is.
Yeah.
There's the man. There he is. I mean,
What's up, Mr. Wayne?
We just love having you on the show. I love your energy. I can feel it from the desert. Oh, the Masina behind you, like you say all the time.
Yeah.
But you know,
what's up, Uso?
I'm just having a good night here. I'm chilling. I'm feeling the summer vibes.
Awesome.
I know that
Love,
you got the fam around there. Hope they're all well as well tonight. And you know, how's it just going for you?
good, Uso. Thank you. We just got put with dinner, and so everyone's you know, cleaning up, and I'm out here enjoying the interview.
That's
with
right.
You, man.
Awesome.
Like
well, we're
in
enjoying
Hawaii,
having
man.
you. So you talk about
I'm outside. I'm barefooted.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Oh, so you're back on the island now.
No, I'm
okay.
I'm still in Arizona. But
okay.
I created a little island.
It feels like
it.
It feels island vibes. It feels like you're at like windward side at night, like Waimanalo or something, and you got the tide behind you. But you know, wherever you are, I know you bring that aloha. You bring that alofa with everybody, that because of, you know, your countenance and the energy you bring. And I know that somebody like Colt Brennan was somebody who also had that, and we talked about that, and that's a way that you know, we were connected via, you know, my interview with Colt. But you know, we want to start off by talking about your journey as well, because I know that intersection of you and Colt was a lot of, you know, a lot of that, and you talked about that mental health challenges that you both had to face, and you are still facing yourself, and so many of your teammates from not only college, NFL, but high school even. You know, we it's like people don't, you know, understand this, like the impact that you could have later in life. But you know, we remember you as I think at first a D lineman, and then you your skills with the hands and with the feet were discovered, so you were moved to the offensive side of the ball.
Oh man.
But just talk about that period as well in your life.
Wow. Well, me and also Cole have a lot of similarities in our journey. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly.
Can you hear me clear?
Oh yeah, okay, I can hear you clear. Perfect.
Yeah. For me, my football journey started back in Samoa. You know, being on a beautiful island of green and blue and yellow, red, all the colors of the rainbow, man. Violet. We have it in the islands, and you know, enjoying that life out there. It always felt like I was supposed to go somewhere farther and come back. You know, like our ancestors. You know how we traveled and voyaged the seas, man, and then we return home. Right. So for me, you know, I always felt like I wanted to go play football, knowing that my father played rugby, and you know, my brothers played, you know, football and got scholarships and whatnot. And I wanted to, you know, pursue that passion, that love for the game, because of how much my father enjoyed watching us, you know, and he was always at our games. My mom's not into the violent side of things, you know, so She's a pure Christian lady,
Would she go
man.
to the
She is.
games?
It's
Would she
too
go to the game?
violent. It's too. Nah. Only
Really?
she only come to the games. Nah, she can't see me. You know something funny,
I
Wayne?
get.
Like she doesn't know the Juggernaut.
Wow. Wow.
If that makes
Interesting.
any
No, I
sense.
get
If
it. I
that
get
makes
it.
any
I get
sense.
it. Yeah, I get
She
it. It
she
makes a lot
knows
of
her
sense.
she knows her son. She knows
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
her
Mm-hmm. She
her
knows
baby
Reagan.
boy, but she doesn't know the other side of me. When I
Mm-hmm.
step onto the field,
Mm-hmm.
I leave everything outside of those lines. And when I cross that line and I'm on the field with my helmet, my gear, like I feel like I'm at war.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I
Mm-hmm.
truly feel like our ancestors' spiritual like influence and inspiration within me when I take the field of battle. And has that has always been my mindset, with football and whatever I did in life. I was always going to go 1000% like and pursue after it. So as a kid in Samoa, I don't know if you know it, Wayne, but the Milky Way, the Milky Way runs right like over Samoa, and it's
Wow.
huge in
Wow.
Samoa. Like if you, I still remember as a kid laying in my yard, in my front yard, yeah, front yard, and looking up, and it's huge, massive, and it's always been there, right? So it's almost like normal. It's almost like
Mm-hmm.
seeing the sun every day.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
that's normal.
Wow.
It's normal
That's amazing.
until you learn a little bit more about the stars and the moon, the
Yeah.
Masina and the La, right? And
That's
so for
right.
me, I was always interested in that. And
Mm-hmm.
I would think I was probably 4 or 5. I saw the I saw a shooting star as I was making a wish. I was just a kid, like just out playing, and I'm looking up in the stars, and I saw a star go by, like as I was making a wish. It was
Wow.
really weird to me, but that wish was to play in the NFL.
Whoa.
As a kid,
Wow.
man, I kid you not, because
No, I
I mean,
believe
every
it.
Sunday
I believe
we
it.
only we every Sundays we only had 2 channels on the island, and every Sundays it was either church or
Mm-hmm.
football, right, on the channels. So all day one channel it's all football, and the other channel is all church.
I
So
love it.
if you went to church, that day, you
Mm.
get to sit back and watch football with pops and the uncles and everybody.
Yeah.
If you didn't go to church, you didn't get to sit down and watch the game and enjoy it.
You
So
might not be able to
so
sit
for
down. It
me,
might
I
be too
was
sore to
always
sit down.
yeah, exactly, right, exactly. So I was always intrigued by that moment. It was once, and this was before Monday Night Football even came to
Yeah.
Samoa. So it was once a week, and we watched football and wrestling on Sundays. And
Mm.
I still remember this dream, Wayne. I still remember this dream, man, because it felt so real that I
Mm.
could achieve it, right?
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
And I just kept that faith with me like all my
Mm.
life. I still have it with me today. I still,
Yes.
that faith as a kid, like as a you know, little boy in the islands, man, like I wished for that, and it
Mm.
came true for me.
Yes.
Imagine that, bro. Like as a kid,
Yes.
like you wish for something and then you achieve it, man.
Yes.
No one can tell you anything, man. Like no one can tell you like what to believe in and who to believe in, because you've already set yourself to believe in yourself
Yes. Yes. It
as a young
just
as a young
amen.
man, like as a young boy. Like I didn't
Mm-hmm.
know what football was. I didn't even know how to speak English. You know what I mean? But
Wow.
I just knew, man, that the passion was so strong with me, Wayne, that I
Mm.
knew that if I could make it to the NFL, I can make a difference in my life and my family's life. Like
Mm-hmm.
I was always the one to be willing to carry whatever the load was. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
just that kid, oh, it's heavy. I got it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you need help? I got it. You know what I'm saying? I was always willing, with that willing heart to give, to help, And I think that paid dividends for me,
Yeah,
man. I think that really
absolutely.
served me right back because as much as I wanted to give, like people were willing to give back.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
me and Colt's me and Colt's journey crosses within JUCO because we both went the JUCO route. No one, I don't know if anyone knows that about me, but I was a JUCO transfer and I was a walk on to Hawaii,
Well, okay,
just
yeah.
like
Talk
Colt.
about that. Yeah, yeah. Where were you at?
Yeah,
San Francisco?
yeah, man.
Were you
So,
in
so, so Stockton, California.
Stockton? Stockton. Okay.
Shout out to Nate Diaz, man. He's about to do his thing this weekend. My Uso's in town, so I'm gonna go see him. Shout
Awesome.
out to
There you
Nate Diaz. I
go.
don't. I hope you don't mind me saying giving some
I
shout
don't
outs
at
while I'm
all.
on
I
here, man.
don't know. Let's do some
I just
shout
told
outs.
some people. I just told some people to tune in, man. I was about to go on. I was like, man, I gotta finish dinner. I gotta,
Well, you
head
can
out to
drop.
my
I mean,
interview with my
small
Uso
kind,
wings.
small kind name dropping as well. I get it, because your
Yeah,
boys with the man Nate Diaz. Him and his
yeah,
brother
man.
Nick. Some of the,
Nick, yep,
one of the great families in the UFC because of
yeah. So
that
we grew up
hard
together.
nose. Yeah, really.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, man. Like just some real Usos.
wow,
Some real brothers, man. Like, and they're the best people to hang out with. The
wow,
best people,
awesome,
man.
awesome.
Yeah, man. It's none of that like negativity that they put out about them.
Mhm, mhm.
You just got to know people.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I agree.
anywho. So we're in Stockton. We moved from Samoa to Oakland in
Okay,
'95.
okay.
You ready for the journey, Wayne?
Oh, I'm ready. I'm buckled in for this one.
All right, brother. So I was 9. I was 9 when we moved to the States. I was 9 when we moved to Oakland, and we moved straight from the jungle to another concrete jungle.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Like it was
Yeah.
straight from like real jungle to like street jungle. Like what are we doing here, man? We should have just stayed in Hawaii. We had a
Uh,
layover in Hawaii, and it was my first time in Hawaii, right? And I felt
ah.
like we had just gotten into this like tubular plane. I don't know what it was, man. It was seats higher than me. People were crying all over the place. I'm like, what? Or where are we going? Anyways, I thought we were going to heaven, man. So when we landed in Hawaii, early morning Hawaii, we exit the plane and it was like home. I'm like, this is home. This is
Yeah.
heaven.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. For
So
sure.
when we landed in Hawaii, bro, we had a layover, right? And my dad had to go down to the my dad had to it was my dad and all of us. Like it's me and 4 other brothers and 2 sisters
Mm.
and my dad, and we were just traveling,
Wow.
man. We were voyaging. So as my dad went to get the tickets for our connecting flight, me and all my brothers and sisters never been to an airport, never been to on a plane, never been on a plane, never been to an airport, never been to Hawaii. And when my dad came back, me and all my brothers and sisters were diving in the little well where people throw coins and stuff in. Man, we were like, I've never seen anything like that. And I told myself, I was like, man, this has got to be
They're
heaven, man.
like,
They got
what village
money.
in
They
Samoa did
got
these
money
kids
all
come
over.
from? They're like, actually.
I was like, wow. It was funny, man, because my dad came back and he wasn't even mad. I think in his mind he was just like, oh man, my my children have never been here and this is what they do. You know what I'm saying? Like, so he
Yeah,
wasn't even
yeah.
mad about that. But
Wow.
I took that as like as an experience in
Yeah,
Hawaii. That was my
yeah.
very first experience in Hawaii, and I loved it. I loved being in Hawaii for the little period of time that we had, and I
How
always
old were you?
felt that energy. I was 9.
Oh, 9. Okay. Wow.
I was 9, brother. Yeah, I was 9. I was
Wow.
9, and I had always felt this energy there, this healing, this powerful energy.
Mm.
I didn't know what it was as a kid, but it felt right.
Mm. Mm.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it felt really good to be there.
Yeah.
you know. And then when we got on the plane again and took off, we landed in San Francisco,
Mm.
right? And I'm looking out the windows, all these lights. Like, I have never seen so many lights in my life. All the city lights, the downtown, all of it, man. I was overwhelmed. You know, I was overwhelmed, man. Like, not being able to see that much power, in a
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
area. You know what I mean? Like I've never witnessed anything like that. And when we landed in Oakland, we had to survive, bro.
Mm.
Like our very first week of school, almost all of us got suspended.
Wow.
Yeah, it was just miscommunication,
Mm.
misunderstanding. We didn't speak
Mm.
English,
Mm.
and it was Oakland.
Yeah.
It was Oakland. It's
Yeah.
East Oakland, man.
Wow.
So me
Yeah.
and Devon Best, yeah, we know where we from,
Wow.
man.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what it's like to grow up and
Mm.
make it out of there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
from Oakland, we moved east a little bit more east to start from. So in Stockton, I played ball in high school. I remember the very first time I walked onto. This is a cool story. The very first time I walked onto a high school campus, I was 13 and I was homeless. I was homeless for for a little bit of that summer, heading into the fall of
Wow.
98, 99.
Wow.
When I walked onto the campus, I just lost like um, connection. I didn't have a phone, and when I got kicked out of where I was, my
Mm.
uncle's place. My uncle, when I got kicked out of there, I was 12. I was 12 when I got kicked out, and I was just roaming the streets, just trying to understand, like, okay, if I can't stay here, then I gotta go find my parents, right? There are
Wow.
no cell phones, no internet, no Wi-Fi, no
Wow.
Facebook,
Yeah. No
nothing.
Facebook. It's
So when I found my parents, um, when I found them, school had already been in session for about 3 weeks.
Wow.
You know, so I had to get on the bus that very next morning. You know what I mean, and go find out what school was about, what high school was about. And when I walked onto that campus, I turned 13 that summer, and I walked onto that campus with a Jesse Sao Paulo University Hawaii rainbow jersey, Wayne.
No way. No.
A
Wow.
rainbow warrior, like old school throwback jersey.
Wow. That's
And I
incredible.
walked on there, bro. I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea that there was freshman football. I had no idea that nothing, no
Wow.
knowledge of anything. My older brothers and sisters, like, they did their own thing and
Yeah.
found their own way to school and whatnot. And I was the only one going to this school, particularly because my parents had just moved into that district, right? So
Ah.
this school that I went to, Tokay High School, shout out to all my Tigers, is
Nice.
where I met. This is where I met Nick and Nate Diaz.
Wow.
Yeah, so we all went to school together at Tokay and different times, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean different levels, but we were
Mm-hmm.
all there around the same time. Um,
Wow.
so yeah, so as a freshman, I barely spoke English. You know what I mean? I was learning how to speak English still around that time, and understanding teachers and counselors and advisors and all of this. Like, it was a lot for me, man. It was a
Yeah,
lot for me
I
because,
bet. Yeah.
I mean, as a kid, you know what I mean? Like, think about it. Like, a
Yeah.
12-year-old kid who's been on the streets for like the past 3 months, whatever,
Yeah. Yeah.
the summer, like the entire summer. And and now you have to adapt to like everything that's going on, and they were moving so fast. Like,
Mm.
I had to to test for what levels of classes I was going to be in English, math, and whatever, reading
Yeah.
or something. And passed it all, did well, and they put me in football. They say, "Hey, you got to play some ball with that size, you know." And
Yeah.
I said, "Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm looking for the football coach." So they sent me. So they sent me outside to the fields, right? They say just walk out there towards the football fields, and you'll see a coach. Just have a conversation with them, introduce yourself. I was like, cool. I think, man, if I'm not mistaken, the jersey was
Yeah.
76.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the one.
It
Yeah.
was,
And
right?
Sean Iman, our
It
friend, has
was.
that jersey too. He put in the comments, and yeah, I know he
Oh,
wears it.
yes.
So that's the
Oh,
one.
that's
That's a
awesome.
nice green,
That's
a
awesome.
nice color. Yeah, I know which one you're talking
Yeah,
about. We had
the one,
Jesse
the one, the
Sapolo on
one
the
I had
field.
was dark. It had like a dark blue or like a dark color. I remember being dark,
Oh,
but the
cool.
shoulders, it made me look like I had shoulder pads on.
Mm.
You
Yeah.
know,
Hmm.
and I walked onto the high school campus as a 263-pound freshman.
Wow.
You know, and
Yeah.
I'm walking. I see some guys in football pads, big old dudes, and I'm like, huh, that must be them. So I'm walking over towards the field, and I asked them, "Hey, I'm looking for the football coach." And they said, "Okay, what's your name?" I introduced myself. I said, "What grade you in?" I said, "Ninth grade."
Well, you said the right
The
answer at
heck,
least.
the
Yeah.
coach, I did. The coaches, the players, you know, like, huh? Like, you're a freshman, man. You
They're like,
go
our prayers were
that way.
answered.
Yeah, right, right. And I was on the varsity field. I was on the varsity. I was on the wrong field. So they had
Wow.
pointed me over to the freshman field, and you had to walk past the JV field to get to the
Mm.
freshman field. So
Hmm.
here's this big old Samoan kid with this Jesse Sapolu beautiful Rainbow Warrior jersey, man.
Hmm.
I love that jersey. Like it just felt real. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like who's this new recruit we got
Yeah.
coming
For
up?
sure. For sure.
And I was as I was walking by, all of the JV heads were like, you know what I mean? How guys talk, man. And
Yeah.
I'm like, is this the freshman field? Nah, that way, man. You gotta go that way. So I kept going. I was like, man, I passed the baseball field, softball field, soccer field, and here's all these athletes just staring at me. And I'm like, dang, they got problems or what? You know what I mean? Like, when
Yep.
everyone starts staring at you, you
Yeah.
just start
Yeah.
wondering.
Of course.
Insecure
Hmm.
as a 13-year-old, you know what I mean? I just kept walking, and I finally find, the freshman field. And the very first day I met the head coach of the freshman field, he knew that we were gonna something
Yeah.
special was about to happen.
Yeah.
And
Mm.
from that day on, they brought me on as their own. Man,
Wow.
as a Tokay Tiger, I was
Wow.
suited, I was
Hmm.
booted, I had my helmet, I had my shoulder pads.
Yeah.
And the very first day I put my helmet and shoulder pads on, I left practice with them on still. Didn't take my pads or helmet. I didn't know.
People
So,
are like,
so
what is he walking down
wait,
the
the
sidewalk?
whole
They're like,
the
maybe he
whole
thinks he's gonna get
bus
hit by a car or something. I don't
the
know.
whole bus ride home. Big old shoulder pads, my thigh pads, everything on, cleats, helmet, just walking home. You know what I
Uh,
mean? Like,
yeah.
and I get home and my father was sitting right in the front, and he looked at me like he just started laughing. He started laughing. He was like,
Uh,
"Why did you bring the stuff home?" I was like, "Oh, I thought it was mine."
uh,
And he laughed, man. He really enjoyed that. And I still remember that walk, man, because I was walking
yeah.
on cleats. I was
Hmm.
walking with cleats,
Hmm.
like past all the neighborhoods, like new to the neighborhood and all that too. And everyone's just probably looking at me like, look at this kid right here, man. What is wrong with him?
classic.
Yeah, man.
That's
That
classic.
that was my first. That was my first like experience having, shoulder
Mm-hmm.
pads on and the full gear. I just felt so ready, Wayne. Like I was
Yeah.
game ready, man.
Mm-hmm.
That very first day,
Mm-hmm.
not knowing a single play, not knowing a single formation, a single scheme,
Wow.
anything. Man, I had no knowledge of football,
Uh-huh.
no
Uh-huh.
knowledge of organized football because it wasn't in Samoa yet.
Yeah. Oh, really?
So
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, so my high school career took off for me. It 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 really humbled me. My freshman year when I got cut for grades.
Mm.
Yeah, that was new to me. That was new
Mm.
to me. That was
Yeah.
something that kind of woke me up as a student athlete.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because I truly thought like I was there to play football
Yeah.
and not grades. You know what I mean? Like I didn't know
Yeah.
the value
Yeah.
of education until then,
Mm-hmm.
until everyone did everything they could to like. I mean, I was 3 weeks behind. You know what I mean? I'm trying to
Yeah.
catch up with all
Of
my
course.
classes. So the very first progress reports came out, and I didn't do well. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and so they had to release me from my freshman year. I'm like,
Wow.
man, what am I supposed to do now? Like,
Yeah.
so for the rest of the season, I just hit the weights. I found some weights. I found the weight room. I found some people to allow me to lift, and that was the track team, the track coach,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
the throwing coach, one of my best friends, and forever will always be grateful to this man, John Hunt.
Mm-hmm.
It's truly the reason why I made it out of high school alive. This man really took me under his wing and looked after me. He knew like the situation that I was in, and probably saw a lot of potential in myself that I really didn't know
Yeah.
of. And so my high school career was fun. It was it they told me everything was going to come true for me, and it did. Just being the athlete that I was. And when I was released my freshman year, like the wrestling coaches came after me, the basketball coaches came, the wrestling, did I say wrestling, basketball,
Mm-hmm.
who else? And track, and
Wow.
I really enjoyed my relationship with he was a counselor, John Hunt, and he was a throwing coach, and I was like, man, this guy has been honest with me from the beginning. He's
Mm-hmm.
been really kind, and I'm going to follow, what he's asking me to do. I didn't know anything about shot put and discus, but I had so much fun, man. Like that's one of my favorite times of high school was the track meets.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? The track meets is where
Yeah.
you can, as a big man, you're a thrower, man. You bring nothing but snacks.
In fact, it's encouraged, I'm sure.
Yeah, highly encouraged. And we had this Filipino thrower named Elizabeth. She would bring us lumpias and like
Oh
all the
man.
yeah, man. She would hook it up. She would bring
Wow.
she like, you want lumpia? I'm like, man, don't tease me right here. If you're serious, man, I want to see. I want to see.
Yeah.
So I such good times, man, in high school, and you know, and from high school, I get cut my senior year. So I come back.
Wow.
So check this. Okay, let me break this down for you. Check this. Freshman year, right? I played half the season because I got released for grades,
Mm-hmm.
and then they told me I needed to work on my grades, and then I did. For the rest of my freshman year, I passed everything.
Nice.
Did what I needed to do because I needed to stay on track for track and field.
Yeah.
And so when sophomore year came around, mind you, I haven't played a full season of football yet. Still don't know the game. I was barely learning positions, and I got released because remember I was 3 weeks behind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, the games were already playing, and I'm barely trying to learn English stuff.
Yeah.
So I was
Yeah.
learning
Yeah.
like guard, tackle, center. You know, guard, tackle. Like I was learning what tight ends were, what linebackers were, outside line, the whole football, you know, scheme of things. And when I came back my sophomore year, they bumped me up to varsity.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't. I mean, I came back. I came back like this as a sophomore.
They're like, yeah, you skip JV. Sorry, you're just like the kids that
Yeah,
accelerate past a
yeah,
grade. We just gonna
yeah.
advance you. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I was really serious about my style of play,
Hmm.
and my style of play was always unstoppable. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like just that mentality, man. Like once I laced them up, buckle up. Sometimes not buckled up.
Yeah. Ready to go.
I'm ready to go, man. So my
Wow.
sophomore year, I come back to school and they say, "Hey, you need to play varsity." So
Yeah.
I go up to varsity as a 14-year-old, and I'm playing with some of the biggest dudes I've ever seen in high school. Some of the biggest people. I'm like, dang, man, these dudes are huge. They
They're
look
men
like
are.
college players, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then, man, if you if you ask any one of my high school um, friends and whatnot, man, they'll tell you, you know, the impact that I was able to contribute,
Yeah. I'm
to the
sure. I'm sure. Yeah.
to the team. You know what I mean? Like just it was just different, man. Like
Yeah.
something they've never seen or experienced before. And same for me.
Yeah.
I played my sophomore year, my junior year in high school, and then my senior year, I get released again for a party that I shouldn't have been at. You know, senior in high school, like you're the
Yeah.
big man on
Yeah.
campus. You shouldn't be partying, with certain people.
Hmm.
And then, I got in trouble for it, and I understood that lesson big time. You know what I mean? And that one really because it was a time in my life where I needed um to take charge of that next step, going to college and whatnot. And I get released my senior year. I get cut from my senior year, and for me, it seemed like college was done. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I didn't
Yeah.
have, I mean, think about it:
Yeah.
sophomore, junior year, just 2 years in high school, and you know, I
Wow.
was ready for whatever. Though I was ready. I was still prepping to go to college,
Hmm.
with or without a scholarship. Just
Oh, okay.
because
Okay.
this man John Hunt, my coach
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
advisor, he was telling me like, even if you don't make it for football, you can still make it for academics.
Yeah.
You can still make it for track and field.
Hmm.
There's so
Hmm.
many other ways and
Yeah.
avenues that you can get to college, but you should think about going. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Of course.
And I took that to heart, man. I really did. I took that to heart because here's someone who's been helping me
Yeah.
since I walked onto this campus. You know what I mean? With that Jesse Sabolo jersey,
Of course. Yeah.
and all the way to my senior year, he was still like, you know what I mean,
Hmm.
just setting me up for success, man. And as a young kid, as a young man, Wayne, you can't see the future, so you don't really understand what a lot of experienced people are talking about
Hmm.
until you experience it for yourself.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. Totally.
When
Yeah.
someone's trying to share with you, like, their experiences, if you've never experienced it, it's kind of hard to relate.
It is.
And it
Completely.
wasn't until I started experiencing a lot of what they were telling me, and I was like, dang, he was right.
Yeah.
Or
I know.
she was
You're right.
right. You know what I mean? Like, so for me, like, I understood that football may or may not be there for me in college, but that didn't stop me. Like I still trained like I was gonna
Hmm.
play. in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, maybe I can just skip college altogether and just go straight
Yeah.
to the league.
Yeah. Hey, why not? That's right. That's right.
I mean, I was just, I was just like super focused on making it, man. And right after my senior year, I graduated high school. I had a scholarship waiting for me.
Wow.
Even without playing my senior year, I had a scholarship still from my junior year, from my sophomore and junior year. So they felt like I did enough in those seasons for me to earn their scholarship, and I signed the letter of intent and everything.
Wow, cool.
It was Sac State. I had a scholarship, full ride to Sac State.
Wow.
Full ride to I had some trips lined up for Oregon, USC, UCLA.
Wow.
To go play nose guard, or just an athlete, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever they needed. So after I signed that letter of intent, I had a date that I was supposed to show up, right? And all the flights and check-in times and whatever. That day came to report for all the high school graduates to report to college, right? After you sign your letter of intent. That day came and I didn't go.
Oh.
I took myself straight to the junior college that was down the street, San Joaquin Delta Junior College. And I don't know I really don't know what made me go there, but I just knew that I could do better than what I had. If that makes any sense. Like the route that they gave me to go to JUCO, they say, hey, you can go to JUCO, play a year or two and get a bigger scholarship to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, I'm down with that, man. Like let's go do that, right?
Yeah.
So that day that I was supposed to report to Sacramento, I went to Delta College and I introduced myself. I remember I sat right in front of the head coach's office. He was a new head coach too. And he had played in the NFL for a while, but I didn't know any of that. So as I was just sitting there, he walks out and he's like in a hurry, he's trying to get somewhere. And I stopped him. I was like, hey coach, how you doing? My name is Reagan Maui'a. And he goes, I know who you are. What are you doing here? He said, aren't you supposed to be in Sacramento or something? I said, hey, man, yeah, but I have a different plan, man. I want to play here and get my grades together, man, and get a better scholarship. And he said, yo, you can definitely do that. That you can definitely do. And I told him that day that I was going to be there, that same year, 2002, I graduated high school. And remember, I didn't finish my senior football year.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in 2002 fall, I report because I wanted to play, man. I wanted to play that year. I report to fall camp for the JUCO in 2002, and I was about 300 something pounds already. Nose guard. Yeah. So I mean, the senior year that I sat out, like at the track meets, all the food.
It's always the last season of the year too. It's always the last season of the year too. It's always the last season of the year where you
always the last season, man.
Yeah.
And and for me, like making that choice, that bold choice to go this route, in order for me to go somewhere better, because of how much I believed in myself, in my dream.
Yeah.
So I took this route. I played 2002 and I was thinking play 2003 and then I can go somewhere, and play, 2004. 2002, great season. We played Aaron Rodgers in the conference game.
Wow.
I was chasing around Aaron Rodgers like
that's crazy.
Before I was that's nuts.
That's crazy.
Man.
That is nuts.
Before he went to Cal.
He went to Berkeley,
before
right?
He went to Cal. Before he went to Cal, he was at Butte Butte College.
Butte College.
And
Okay,
we,
nice.
yeah, and we played
Wow.
them, and they had a bunch of Samoans on the team, man. Like it was fun, man. It was fun. And we had a bunch of Samoans on our team,
Yeah,
so
I'm
it was
sure.
like cracking.
I'm
You know what I
sure.
mean?
Yeah,
We
I'm
had,
sure.
yeah, 2003 happened, and I find out I'm going to be a father.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, in 2002. So barely out of high school, had a plan. I got this plan to go somewhere, and then boom, hey,
Wow.
life.
Yep.
So, you know, knowing that the right thing had to be done, I took the season off and I worked. I
Oh,
still
wow.
stayed in school. I worked um, night shifts, and then I had different different bouncing jobs
Mm-hmm.
during the weekends, right?
Wow.
So I was doing
Okay.
like that kind of thing. I was school, work, school, work, train, and training, and all the way between that. In 2003, um, all my coaches were trying to get me to come back. Man, they were like, "Man, we got, we brought all these Hawaiian players from Hawaii. They need you, man. They need someone." I was like, "Coach, I still remember that conversation with my great friend, great coach, Coach Harrington, and he was like, they need you, Reagan. Like, they need
Yep.
your guidance. They need your leadership. They need your energy." And I just told him, you know, I told him I had to do this for the family, man. Like this was more important to me than anything else I've ever done in my life. Is prepare, you know, prepare room in my heart and prepare room in this world for my firstborn.
Yeah.
You know, so I took 2003 off. They told me, all right, fine, you can redshirt and you can come back and play next year. I was like, cool, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'll do that. And it wasn't until 2003 I hadn't. My only plan was just to be a father, right then and there, work, save, plan, whatnot. And 2004 happened. My son was born June 13th. His birthday's coming up.
Nice.
He was born, and as soon as he was born, Wayne, that dream that I had as a kid in Samoa came right back. As soon
Wow.
as he was born, like that energy, like I was like, man, this doesn't make any sense. I'm supposed to be a father now. Like I put
Yeah.
football over here, and
Yeah.
now I'm doing
Yeah.
the father thing over here, taking care of my parents over here, taking care of that. So when my son was born in 2004, I knew I had to play.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I knew I had to play again. So I made my way back to the locker room. I made my way back to the field, and coaches were happy. We make it to another bowl game. We win it. You know what I mean? And we got all the Hawaiian boys on the team, got all the Poly boys on it.
Yeah.
Man, we had cats from McKinley, Kaimuki.
Wow.
Where the other boys? Yeah, man, we had a big old squad, man. We had a big old team out in Stockton. Out in Stockton, out of all the places. And wherever we went, like if we played Fresno State, Fresno State had a bunch of like polys. You know what I mean? And if we played Frisco City, bunch of polys. I'm like, wow, this is cool, man. Like, so knowing that because I went to a predominantly like Palangi school, with sprinkles of color here and there. But I wasn't used to seeing. I mean, I was the only Samoan at my school. Wow. The only second close to Polly that I had was Elizabeth, man. Like she was my only road dog. She brought the lumpias and the pancha.
Yep, Islander love right there. That's for sure.
Oh man, she took care of me, man. So from there, Wayne, like 2004, we make it to a bowl game, and we get all these awards and these accolades, and it came time for us to start signing scholarship for, you know, universities, four-year college.
Mm-hmm.
And the scholarships that were coming in for me gave me that same vibe as the letter of intent that I had signed my senior year in high school. You follow me?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it gave me that same vibe of like, there's something better, man. There's something better than this, man. I don't know what it is, but something's.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
you know you're
I
meant for
prayed on
something
it.
more. You knew you were meant for something more, and you knew that when you were a
Yeah,
kid.
yeah. And this was
you knew that feeling.
2004 season. Yeah,
Wow.
and then 2005. This is 2005 spring of 2005, right? Follow me right here, Wayne. Spring of 2005. The scholarships that came in told me like, hey, we can take care of you and your family, and we'll have apartments for you. But nothing really spoke to my heart, to my spirit. If that makes any sense, it didn't resonate with me.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
Until Polynesian Power came on, featuring right Isaac Sopoanga.
Yeah, that's right.
And Pisa Tinoy Samoa, narrated by The Rock, right? Like that came out, Wayne, and I was like, Hawaii.
Yeah.
I'm going to Hawaii.
Yeah.
I picked up the phone. Like it came, everyone had signed their letter of intent. I still haven't signed. Picked up the phone and I called. And guess who answers?
Oh.
Nobody. I get a call back. I left a message and I get a call back. It was Coach Mouse Davis.
Wow.
Coach Mouse Davis. The legendary Mouse Davis. The legendary godfather of the run and shoot.
Yeah.
Right?
The man himself.
Calls me up and he you know, we had small talk.
Mm-hmm.
I hear this accent, man. There's like super vibrant, like, you know, like let's get it done, you know, attitude in his voice, man. Like it just sounded like this man had so much experience, had so much knowledge, it felt real. That conversation that I had with him, it felt so real. And that resonated with me.
Of course.
You know what I mean? But like after seeing what June Jones was doing with the 98, 99, 2000, and all of the years coming through, right? All the way up to my years.
Yeah.
All the way up to my years, 2003, 4, 5, and seeing how he loved, cared for, and respected the Polynesian culture. Wayne, that for me was huge, man. That for me told me that this man was a special spirit. You know what I mean? Like he had a special energy that we all needed to be a part of. And so Miles Davis told me, hey, we're looking for a nose guard. Do you have any tape? I said, and you know what was interesting? He asked me that here we're looking for a nose guard, and I hadn't played nose guard. The last time I played nose guard was high school and my 2002 season, because I had bumped over to guard because we needed a guard. So
offensive guard.
I played offensive guard, I was playing offensive guard, trying to look for a scholarship in 2004. And he when we spoke in the spring of 2005, he said, hey, we're looking for a nose guard. And I said, I play nose guard.
Yeah, of course. You play everything. Yeah, I play nose guard. You play whatever you like. Yeah.
You need a quarterback too? No. So check this, right? At the same time that I was like doing all of this, Colt Brennan was going through the same thing to make it to Hawaii by 05 season. So we were like we were all doing our own thing in our own lives. Everything was going on, right? And then 2005 season, we all report. We're all there together. And I show up late to to fall camp because they were waiting for tapes for me, and literally tapes. Like we didn't have
VHS tapes. Yeah,
we didn't have. Oh my gosh, it's so much faster
yeah. You
now.
have to
We
mail
send it
it.
in an
Yeah,
email.
yeah, yeah. In an email, and you send it a text message.
Wayne,
Yeah,
yeah, you can.
yeah,
Go look it up on YouTube, right?
yeah.
Like I'm there,
Exactly.
I'm there, I'm here,
Yeah,
I'm there, I'm there.
yeah.
Just go to
I
this
mean,
link.
these kids don't even
Oh
know,
my
man.
god.
It's right there on the Twitters.
Hey,
Yeah.
I sent June Jones every single tape I have ever played in high school, every single game, every single like footage I had, like
Wow.
in the VHS tapes, and I had like probably like 15 tapes in there,
Incredible.
and I sent the whole box. I said, you guys will find something in there.
They're like $300 worth of shipping later, and you were able to. They're like, this scholarship is
I sent the entire box, and I told them, please don't lose these tapes. These are the only tapes that I have.
Wow.
Like I had no highlight breakdown, no,
Wow.
you know what I mean? How individually like you can like cut out tape.
Of course.
Man, the hard way, Wayne. The hard way was so.
Dang.
But I sent all of my tapes, man. I pushed all of my chips in. I said, boom, I'm here. This is me. You need a nose guard, I'm there. You need an offensive guard, I'm there. You need something else, I'm there. You need something else, I'm there. And June Jones calls me back.
Wow.
He said, we really like what we saw on your film. We'd like for you to come in and walk on.
Wow.
And I said, huh? What's that? He said, well, you get to get to be a part of the team. You get to earn your spot. You get to play for it. And then you get to earn a scholarship your senior year, if there is one. Mm-hmm. If one like opens up for you. I say, cool, man. Like, you mean there's a chance.
You're saying there's a chance. So you're saying there's a chance, yep.
You're saying? So you mean to tell me? So he said, report to fall camp by July 25th or something like that. Wow. And I got to Hawaii July 19th, I think, 1920, around that time. Got my apartment, set up my family, make sure we're all good, my son. And I was like, all right, I got to go meet June Jones, on campus.
Yeah.
Just to talk and introduce myself, man to man, person to person, so he can see who I am and get to sit down with me. None of this was planned.
Yeah.
None of this was planned or even like, I didn't even have an appointment to go see him.
Wow.
I need to go. Like, I got to go to the campus. I got to go see him. So I get on the bus. I go to UH campus, UH Manoa. They say the coach is down that way. You got to go lower campus. And it felt like high school. You know what I mean? Like, you got to go that way. You got to go that way. So here I am again, like, walking onto a brand new campus. I'm late. I'm late to this camp.
Yeah. Brand
new campus, brand new coach. Like, I don't have a scholarship. I didn't even have enough of anything, bro. Like,
wow,
man, that's a whole nother story, man. But I'm walking on campus holding my son. He had just been born in 2004. Right.
Nice.
So 2005, he's still little, so I'm holding him. He's asleep. Hot, humid, muggy day in Hawaii, and beautiful though. And I'm walking with my son in my arms, just walking and I walk into June Jones's office like that, with my son across my chest, and he was like, "What's this guy doing?"
He's like, did anybody let you in? Who are you? Oh,
yeah,
he's probably like, okay, wait, which position can I put this guy at? Next spot for June Jones for sure.
Well, that very first conversation that I had with him, he still talks about it. He still talks about it because he saw that he saw my purpose.
Mm-hmm.
It was almost like he knew that I was there for a reason. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And he knew that he knew that I was there to take care of business. I mean, time was running out because I only
Yeah.
had what, '05 and '06 to play,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And then '05, I played a whole season as a D lineman. I was a 350-pound
That's right.
nose guard,
That's right.
JUCO transfer from Delta College, and I walked onto the campus. Oh man, thinking like, all right, I got to be big for the rest of my college career, and then like this
Mm-hmm.
is how I got to get to the league, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because last year I was just playing guard and enjoying
Yeah.
the fat guy life, as an offensive lineman.
Yeah.
No offense, no offense,
None taken, I'm sure, by all the offensive
none
linemen out there
taken.
listening right now.
Because they know they eat, they know they can eat.
Oh, they
But
know.
man,
I'm sure they know.
being 350 pounds in Hawaii, trying out for June Jones was not it was not gonna work out for me, man.
Yeah.
I couldn't I could barely move. I mean, yeah, you could be an athlete, however big or small you are, right? But
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think I was making it harder on myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I can see
just to
that.
be, just to be fair, I think I was making it harder on myself, and I realized that very early on in Hawaii because the level of competition that was there was way different from JUCO and high school.
Mm-hmm.
We're leveling up now, so I got to level up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have to adapt. I have to bring my A game.
Yeah.
So
That's right.
yeah, so 2005, I started reading up on some nutrition things. I started looking into health. I started caring more about like what
Mm-hmm.
I'm putting into my body. I started preparing myself, like a professional.
Yeah.
Like knowing like nutrition, understanding the value of your fuel.
Yeah.
And from 350, I took it all the way down to about 320. I played the rest of the season, and June Jones needed a fullback, or Coach Reinbold needed a fullback
Okay.
to he needed a fullback to portray Wisconsin. I think
Oh,
Wisconsin.
okay.
They had this big old burly
Yeah. Yeah.
fullback, and they needed a look like a scout team.
Okay. Yeah.
And I was literally just like in the moment. You know what I mean? I was just like,
Yeah.
hey, I'll do it. I'm
Yeah.
down.
Yeah. Nothing to lose at
And
that
so
point. Why not? Just have fun, right?
they threw me in there and they told me to play. I break out of the they gave me the play to run. We break out of the huddle, and I knew that whoever was going to be in my way on this play,
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't going to be it wasn't going to be fair for them. You know what I mean?
You're like, you don't want to be in front of me right now. Just announcing this to everyone on that
Just
side
being
of the ball.
honest, man. Like just being honest, like I'm about to run because I'm having
Yeah.
fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm
of
giving a
course.
scout
Yeah.
look.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm sure you're laughing it up too, just
I
for
was,
having a
man. Like
ball. Yeah.
it was such a good
Mm.
day of practice, and we called a play. It was a lead, right? It was a
Mm-hmm.
lead. It was a fullback lead, and I'm taking on the middle backer. Middle backer at that time was Brad Kalimoko,
Okay.
who is now on Finding My Ohana.
That's right. He is.
That's right. That's right. Shout out to my also Brad, man.
Shout out to the bride or the husband, the
Yeah, the
groomsman.
husband. That's right. That's right. He was, man.
Uh,
And the his
he's probably
son.
about your size back then. Now I think the way he's
Yeah,
looking.
yeah. Because he was massive, man. Like
Yeah.
he was a big boy. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And it's interesting. um, I didn't know that it was going to be Brad, that I was going to hit. But we hiked it. I stepped left, led up, and it was literally like this, like, Brad. Love you, Brad. Love you. So I'm just being honest.
He was not ready.
Wayne, man.
He was not ready.
No, he wasn't ready.
Yeah, he wasn't ready. He wasn't ready.
Oh man, the whole team just blew, like, just boom, it went off like, and I'm like, yo, what happened? You know what I mean? So I run back to the huddle. Next play is called, and it was a fullback to the flat. I was like, all right, cool.
Yep.
Hiked it. I take off, and I'm still about like 320, 330 around this, and I'm moving.
Yeah.
I hit the flat. I'm like, hit the flat, caught it, turned up field. Reagan Maui'a. Love you, so I love you, Ryan. I love you. So I'm just being honest with those, Wayne.
Okay, you gotta be honest here.
Reagan Maui'a. I caught the flat, turned up, and Ryan was there, and I was like, I lowered my head. I was about to juggernaut him, and Ryan, being so smart and so quick, he said,
he's like, no thanks.
He said, no way, man. No. He jumped out the way so fast, man.
Well, he saw what happened to Brad, so he was like,
exactly.
No. He's like, no, that's not happening to me. I'm getting out of the way of this thing. Wow.
Hey, Ryan's a smart kid, man. He was like, nope, not me, not today. So he jumped out the way, and then when we watched film that night, Coach Jones pulled me to the side and said, and he made me watch the film with him. And he was telling me, hey, we might have something here for you. He said, you can play in the NFL at this position.
Wow.
And when he said those words, Wayne, it was like what I had been waiting for since I was a kid. You know what I mean? Making that wish of making it to the NFL.
Yeah.
Knowing that this coach knows what he's talking about. He's been to the NFL. He's putting players in the NFL year after year. When he said those words, it was like gospel. You know what I mean? It was like revelation, because up until that point, I was only playing for a scholarship just so I can get my education and take care of my family. You know what I'm saying? Like, because the plan was walk on, scholarship. If I can earn a scholarship next year. You know. But as I walked on in 2004, at the end of 2004, I was a fullback. I was a running back. So I was a nose guard in the beginning, fullback at the end of it. And then when he told me those words, when Coach Jones said that there was a high probability that I can make it to the NFL, as a fullback. He said, just lose the weight, keep honing in on your skills, and you can do it. Man, it was like someone was just speaking straight to your spirit. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like when someone can do that and they're telling you the truth, man, you feel it. It resonates.
I know.
It resonates with you, man. Like, Wayne, man. So
someone finally validating you. Someone finally telling you, all those things that you knew forever since you're a kid.
Right.
That's true. Yeah.
Right. So playing 2 years in high school, 2 years in JUCO, right? 2002, 2004. And now I'm in college, university, playing 05 and 06. And he said, during the off season of 05, he said, lose the weight. If you can bring the weight down, we can find you a scholarship in the springtime. So I had all of off season out.
Oh, so he's kind of dangling that over your head too at the same time.
Yeah,
like, you want a scholarship? Huh? You want a scholarship? Okay, I like it. Good motivation. Good motivational tool right there.
Oh man, he's a smart guy, man. June Jones
That
is a
was a
genius,
smart
man.
idea.
June
He could have
Jones
just
is a
he's
genius,
like, I'm
man.
gonna give this guy a scholarship anyways. Not that he knows that,
Right,
but
right, right,
if I tell
right.
him he's gonna get a scholarship if he puts on the weight, I know he'll do it.
Hey,
He's like ready to
hey,
give you
I
a scholarship. He's
might.
like, you know what? Actually, I'm gonna put this back in my pocket real quick and see what else I can get out of this guy.
Yeah, for real, man.
Love it, love it, genius.
Genius, man. Genius move because that that off season, like I went to another dimension, brother.
Mm.
Like I didn't stress myself out about working out or getting buff and getting strong or getting faster or any of that in this off season. I focused in on nutrition.
Mm.
Yeah, man. And I started the Juggernaut diet, man.
Okay, so that's the birth of the Juggernaut. Was there? Is that what you're saying right there? That moment we're
The birth
waiting
of the
for it.
Juggernaut was the birth of the Juggernaut was when they gave me the lead, the fullback lead, and me and Brad did that.
Man, we can pinpoint the moment. I love it. Brad is the original wall. He's the original drywall, I guess, right? Brad, Kalilimoku. Or yeah, Brad.
Brad's funny, man. So ever since then, man, like the media started calling me the Juggernaut. The players started calling me the Juggernaut, and that the movie was coming out too around that time, right? Shortly after.
Yeah, yeah.
But anyways, that off season like was the season that really got my mind, ready for that next level, even after college, because I mean the man just told me like, hey, there's a chance.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? You got a chance for the next level.
Course,
so start leveling up now. That way like, you don't have to, scramble at the last minute, you know what I mean? And crash diet or whatever. I had never dieted. I had never dieted up until that point. I never knew what diet was. I was 350 pounds. If you're 350 pounds, you don't know what diet is.
Yeah, no.
Unless
you're
supposed to be 350 pounds.
But that's true, yeah.
Yeah, nobody wants to be 350 pounds anymore, man.
No, it'd be hard at any height, unless you're maybe 17 feet tall. Oh, there you go. You got 350 pounds right there.
Baby. 250, baby.
250.
250.
Solid.
Oh man, solid, man. And like I told myself, like I needed to get serious with this next year, man. Because if I'm gonna play in the backfield. And he had already given me some touches. I had scored a couple touchdowns that year, against San Diego, I think. I don't remember. But being able to score a touchdown in college, in Hawaii, you know what I'm saying? Like, mind you, like that was huge for me, man. Wow. Like that was huge for me. That's like milestone. Imagine, and this is all the old linemen were telling me. Like, man, you're living our dream, man. The Juggernaut is living our dream. Yeah, because all the old linemen, they all want to score touchdowns.
Of course, yeah.
If you see them, if you watch them, like, man.
I'm surprised not more of them try to knock over the ball out of the running back's hand, just like fumble them so they can pick them up and run in themselves on the 1 yard line. Like, oh, he fumbled. Yeah, touchdown. Jeez.
Man, they were like, man, you are literally living our dream, man.
Wow.
And I took that into to consideration to understand, like, I'm doing something that's not normal. You know what I mean? Yeah. Being a fullback after playing in the trenches.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? After playing like at 350 pounds, at 300 plus pounds, now you got to run routes.
Yeah.
Running a wheel route at 350 pounds is not the business, Wayne. Like, you can't turn. You can't turn, man. You
gotta turn so gradually too. It's like planets trying to rotate around each other, and you're like running the wheel route.
I used to run the wheel route and like throw my hand like that to like turn myself.
Turn the bus. Turn the trolley.
I was like, is this what you guys mean by the wheel route? You got to turn the wheel? Like,
Uh,
I remember
wow.
that, man. And in everything, you have to start putting things into perspective at that moment. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Like, scholarship is at hand. NFL is right around the corner, right?
yeah.
But none of that was my focus, man. My focus was truly on understanding how to bring my weight down.
Mm,
Because that's what June Jones said. He said, if you bring your weight down, right, there's a
yeah.
great chance you can play. Great chance. And for me, like, yep, my weight's gonna be I don't need to be any stronger. I don't
Yeah.
I can that's easy. I've
Yeah.
done that, all of that,
Of course. Yeah.
right? That's the easy
It's
part.
natural. Yeah.
The hard part is the discipline. Is the
Mm-hmm.
discipline of of what to eat, what not to
Yeah.
eat, when
Not
to
the
eat, when
musubi.
not to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Chasing on
Hard.
the
You're like
Manapula trucks, man.
reaching for the monopool, reaching for the shave ice.
You gotta start thinking, oh
Yeah.
man, you start calculating calories.
Mm-hmm. No.
You're like,
Yeah.
that's
For
a lot.
sure.
Yep, that's too
Yeah.
much. No,
Yeah.
yeah. And that knowledge is still with me today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, like it almost like I went into a cave during
Yeah.
that off season and came out like a monk. You know what I mean? Because
Wow. Yeah.
when I showed up in spring ball, I was 280 pounds.
Wow. From 350,
Yeah,
wow, down 280. Wow.
bro. And I wasn't even like jumping on the scale, checking my weight.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
could just feel it. I could just
Yeah.
feel like
Yeah.
I'm leaner, I'm getting
Mm-hmm.
better. And when June Jones and the rest of the coaches saw me at 280, like they knew that I was serious.
Yeah.
They
Mm-hmm.
knew that because I wasn't publicizing it. I didn't tell anyone, all right, this is what I'm going to do. And then, go do it. I silently did it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That silent discipline that comes in when all the noise goes out,
Mm-hmm.
that silent discipline is what grounds you,
Yeah.
is what
Yeah.
brings you back home. It's like your homing beacon. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's like, hey, you know who you are, you know what you are. You know what I mean? This isn't what you want. This is where it's at. So
Yeah.
lean more towards this way. And when I came back my senior year, things were going on the upper hand for me at school with football and whatnot. And like they say, like when your career starts taking off, like something's always gonna fall behind or
Mm-hmm.
um, and something may fall apart, right? And what fell apart for me was my marriage
Mm.
at that time. So my son's mom, I hope you don't mind me sharing this, but
No, no, I think it's real. Yeah, please. Thank you.
I appreciate it. When she left she left that spring, bro. She left
Wow.
January. Yeah, January.
Wow.
Yeah, January, that spring. And I had to like silently discipline myself all by myself in my apartment, like no room, nobody, no, like
Mm-hmm.
like a straight up monk in my own
Mm-hmm.
cave, in my own world, knowing that I had to do this and knowing that the sacrifices that I needed to make. No car, no money, no nothing, bro, nothing.
Mm.
But knowing who I am today, it makes me proud to see the route that I took to get here. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
makes me really proud of that young man
Yeah.
that made all those sacrifices. Even though things weren't going great, and you know what? None of the coaches knew about this.
Mm.
I kept
Mm.
all of this to myself, man. Like no. I think a player or two, like a friend or two, knew that my my son's mom was not there anymore and my son wasn't there anymore, and I was just all by myself. um most guys probably break.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, just to be
Yeah.
real with you, like
Yeah, for sure.
taking
Yeah,
the
you're a
route that
kid. Yeah.
I've gone through, like most guys would have just given up,
Oh,
you
definitely.
know, and and I didn't want to be part of that statistic.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like I was there for a purpose,
of course.
and I was going to fulfill that. And I think that if I would have shared some of this back then with the coaches, I think I would have received a lot more help and, you
Mm.
know, some counseling and some things to like help me get through the season. But I just I didn't know how to ask.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to
That
ask
wasn't
for
something
help.
we talked about. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard for a lot of players to talk about those things. It's
Yeah,
hard to,
yeah.
you know, yeah. It's something that's a
It's
part of the conversation today for student athletes
mm,
of being able to
no,
communicate and
right,
communicate things that maybe are
right,
unseen. Right. Sometimes it's like, man, if I
exactly.
the only thing I can tell them, they got to be able to. I got to have proof. I got to have an X-ray or something, or they're not going to believe
Yeah,
that and
right, right. You got to
and I
show
think that is a part.
like strict proof.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course. Yeah.
you know, and it, I go back to those years, you know, of discipline, those years uh, of being alone but not alone.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I was an island on an island.
Yeah. 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 I know exactly what
Like,
you mean.
but I never felt isolated. You know, I
Hmm.
never felt like I was isolating myself. Like I was literally given time to like focus like solely on myself, my food, my drink,
Hmm.
my sleep.
Hmm. Hmm.
You know, like just those three things like were all I was focusing on in that time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when I came back that spring and Coach Jones and all the rest of the coaches saw the work that I had just gotten through putting myself you know,
Hmm.
they they knew that they felt the realness that I was there for, you know, to complete this mission.
Yeah.
And after spring ball, Coach Jones and I were walking past each other. You know, we're just walking past each other, and he had stopped me right in front of the locker room, and he told me, "Hey Reagan, congratulations! We've just been able to open up a scholarship for you, you know, and we wanted to reward you for all your hard work." And literally, as he was saying this, he gets emotional. Like I'm like on cloud nine. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying?
Yeah.
Like what, a scholarship? Like this is what I have
Yeah.
been working for since high school, JUCO, right?
Yeah.
And all the way to here, and I'm here, and the man that I am trusting, right, is telling me that I can do this, and now is rewarding me for my
Yeah.
efforts,
Yeah.
right? And it was like it was I'm trying to find the words, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was unreal, man. Like
Mm.
it was emotional. Like I felt like my like my everything in my inner being was jumping for joy and celebrating and crying, you know, and I'm over here trying to hold it straight, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
thank you,
Yeah.
coach. Appreciate it. Give him a hug. But man, like the rest of the day, like I kept seeing this quote, and we had on Coach Jones had on like all these quotes on the wall, and this Muhammad Ali quote still sticks with me. He said, "I hated training every day of my life, but I knew that one day I was going to be a champion."
Mm. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that reminded me, man, of like all those nights that I didn't want to eat properly, or all those
Mm-hmm.
mornings I didn't
Mm-hmm.
want to eat. I wanted to eat something else. I wanted to not be so disciplined. Because I had been 350, man. Like I know what it is to enjoy a good
Yeah.
meal. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I definitely. Or two at the same sitting.
Or three.
Uh,
Oh man. So I know how to have a good time at a buffet,
Yeah.
man. Like,
Yep.
so for me, like giving all that up, giving all the wants and the desires of like the physical, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
For me, I
Mm-hmm.
tapped into my spiritual then. Like I was spiritually led from that point because it was almost like I wasn't I wasn't in control
Yep.
anymore. Meaning
Yep.
like what I wanted to do wasn't like happening, you know, but
Yeah.
what my inner being was really like needing to do was happening for me. If that makes any sense. Like I wanted to go party, I wanted to go do all that, I wanted to go have
Yeah.
fun, but the discipline, that
Yeah.
silent discipline
Mm-hmm.
within yourself tells you, hey, you need some sleep, man.
Yeah.
Like, hey,
There
you
could
got an
be
early morning workout.
some ancestors in the other realms pushing you back, pulling you
That's
back. Like
right,
you
Uso.
know that
That's right,
this is your
man.
journey and your path.
That's
That's
right,
not your
Uso.
path.
That's right, man.
Yep.
You know that divine nature, man. Like
Mm-hmm.
it, I believe it, also. I believe it, man. That
Mm-hmm.
non-physical, man. Like it's always been part of our culture. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it's
Mm-hmm.
always been a part of our people to not be afraid of that. You
Yeah.
know, and that's why we speak about mana
Yep.
and spiritual. You know what I mean? So naturally, so
Yep.
organically. Like
Of course.
it
Yes.
comes natural to us because it's real. You know, we
It is real.
believe in our own makua and you
Mm-hmm.
know and the ancestors that have paved the way for us. You know what I mean? And so for me also, like when I received that scholarship, I knew that I could eat
Mm-hmm.
on campus. I could buy
Mm-hmm.
some books. You know what I mean? I could get
Yep.
some school supplies. I can
Yep.
get my school paid for. You know, and that for me felt like it felt like an NFL contract.
Yeah. I bet. You just took a raise. You can go
I,
splurge at Zippy's now a few times a week if you feel like it.
man, I can eat in the cafeteria,
Yeah.
Wayne.
You can afford the cafeteria with all the other kids now. Oh, it's
Oh
for
man,
sure.
man,
Yeah.
when you're not on scholarship, and this is for all my walk-ons. Hey,
Mm.
when you're not on scholarship, you know those hard times. You know it gets when you can't eat and all the rest of your players are eating.
Yeah.
It's it it should tell you something inside. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like
Yes.
this is not where you need to be.
Mm.
That's where you need to be.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like don't be comfortable here. Don't be
Yeah.
comfortable. Don't just be a walk on.
Yeah.
You know, walk on and earn it.
Yeah.
You know, and they say fake it till you make it. I don't believe in that, Wayne.
Mm.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. I've never
I'm the
learned.
same. I'm the same.
I've never tried to. Yeah.
Yep.
I've never tried to fake it, man. It's for me. It was always like, I'm gonna learn it. I'm
Yep.
gonna learn it,
Yep.
and I'm gonna earn it. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, like I'd rather learn,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
and earn my spot, man. Like I don't want to be given something that I don't know nothing about,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
I don't have any idea of what I'm doing, you know.
Of course. Yeah.
So it's almost like he gave me the keys to, you know,
Wow.
he gave me the keys, man. Like I
Yeah.
was ready, you know, and our 2006, our 2005, and our 2006 season were a testament of our willpower, of our discipline, you know, of our camaraderie as
Yeah.
Usos. You know what I mean? Coming together. Like we had so many JUCO transfers in '05. Like I was surprised by it.
Mm.
Colt was one.
Yeah.
I think L Dub was another one.
Mm-hmm.
Who else was a walk on that year? A bunch of other younger kids were walk ons too, you know. Um, so it's almost like who else was a walk on that earned a scholarship for Hawaii? Chad Owens?
Yeah. Chad Owens is a walk on. Yep. Both. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chad. Yep. I mean, we
Colt?
had a few. We had a bunch. I mean, that was something that was great about June. He could identify some pearls that a lot of
Yeah.
coaches might not have seen, but he also gave people chances as well, right? Like you talk about those guys like
Man.
Kisa and guys who were searching for, and it's like you guys all found each other. It was really a perfect storm when you talk about all of you athletes playing together. It was
That
really
part,
amazing.
that's the part.
Yeah, it's like,
That's the
how did
part
you
I'm
all
trying to
come
get to,
together at the same exact time? It's really amazing, you know?
bro. The stars, man. The
Yeah,
stars
they had to
aligned.
align. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Had to.
The
It
stars
had to.
literally
I
aligned. The
mean,
stars all came
how
up. Yeah,
how how right? How did Colt get there in
yep.
just that nick of time? Devon
Mm-hmm.
Best,
Mm-hmm.
myself, Nate Law was there,
Mm-hmm.
Samson Satele,
Yep.
Alama Francis,
Yep.
Purcells. You know what I mean? Like
It keeps going. Yep.
Lono Manners,
Yep.
Peters. Man, it was amazing to me to witness what we were and who we were at that time. You know,
Yep.
because we were it almost like in '05 we were trying to find our identity, and we
Yep.
did, and we found
Yep.
it, and we meshed, and we blended really well. You know, so we knew that in '06 we
Yep.
were going to do some
Yep.
damage. You know what I mean? And we also knew that in '07 we were going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Mm.
You know what I mean? We knew that these couple of years were crucial
Yeah.
in making it, you know, as far as we could take to school. You know what I mean? And that's something that June Jones like embedded in us, was how much we were doing for Manoa, University of
Yeah.
Hawaii.
Yeah.
Like how much
Yeah.
the football program was doing for the school around that time.
Of course. Yeah.
To be honest, the campus wasn't all that great. Like we didn't have all these nice towers, these nice,
Mm-hmm.
you know, facilities that they do
Mm-hmm.
now. Like,
Yeah.
hey, Warriors, hey, be grateful, man. Be grateful.
Yeah.
Be grateful, man. That's all I gotta say, man. I know you guys are earning. I know you guys are earning it, man. This is the Juggernaut himself telling you, hey, be grateful, man.
Yeah,
Be
that's
grateful.
right.
You
That's
know?
right.
And for us, like we pay homage to those that came before us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, at the beginning of this conversation, like I talked about Jesse Sapporo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like one of the greatest, like to ever walk the planet of football, man.
Yes,
like,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Legend wherever he goes. Yep.
Yeah. You know, and he's someone that I've been able to you know, to build a relationship with and to, you know, share this football journey with, man, and so much knowledge and and wisdom from the big Uso. So in '05, you know, we all kind of looked at Colt a little different. You know, Colt, you know, he had this different swag about him. Like we knew that he had this swag, but we didn't know where it was coming from. Yeah. You know, he was always playing Bob Marley. I'm like, man, is he from Maui? Where is this dude from, man? Where's he from? Kona? Where that boy from? Hilo? Man, none of us knew, you know what I mean? Like, until we really got to know him, you know, and how special he was, and how special he was going to make this program, you know.
Actually, well, and that actually in that place, we're at a good time where we might actually have to do a part 2 or 4 this one. Is that cool, Reagan? Can we? Because I feel like you're getting started. Okay, I mean, we've been at it's been an amazing just journey from hearing from, you know, times in Samoa through Oakland to Stockton, and all you see along the way is you planting seeds for the future and how it's been blooming for you, and it's amazing. And the harvest has been pretty good for you, you know, going to the NFL. Man. I mean, that's amazing from Samoa and looking into the stars. That's it's pretty cool to hear that story. But
Thank
you know, we want to, you know, take that with us for the week, and we're gonna bring you back next week and you know, try and talk more. Is that cool, man?
Man,
we'll
that's awesome, man. I'm always honored to be here, brother. I'm always honored to be on your show, man, on your platform. Thank you again.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. We appreciate everyone out there. And we're excited for all.
Thanks for letting me come on here and just conversate, man.
No, we gotta get the Juggernaut. We're gonna talk about more your time with Colt, your time in the NFL, running through walls, and all the Juggernaut stories. But we're gonna bring you back next week. So for Reagan Maui'a, the Juggernaut, you gotta come back next week and hear the next part for him. But this is Wayne Coito.
Yes, love.
See you guys next week.
Thank you, Wayne. Hello, so.
Chee!